Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Liz of Ladensercrotchets, and in this tutorial we're going to make this bikini cover-up skirt. It's a maxi skirt, and I hope you're going to enjoy making this particular skirt because I totally enjoyed doing it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so, and let's get started.
I'm going to work with a medium weight yarn in color white, and I'll be using a 4.5mm hook. You can use whatever size of hook that is available to you because this skirt is measurement based, and so if you have the measurements you don't really need to use the same size of hook as I'm using. So you're going to need the measurement of your hips and the full length of the skirt that you want to make. So in my case, I'm making a skirt of 45 inches on the hips. So to begin, you're going to chain a chain that is long enough to fit onto your hips when slightly stretched. So make that chain. I've made a chain of 120 chains, and this 120 chains is what is going to fit to someone, or it's going to fit on someone that has a hip measurement of 45 inches. Remember that even when you're using the same size of the hook, you may not get the same number of chains as I have gotten because we all have different tensions on our stitches. So just with whatever number you've gotten, be it 100, be it 130, it doesn't have to be 120. So after you get your desired chains, we are not going to connect the chain. Usually when we work in skirts, we work in rounds, but in this case we're going to be working in rows, and then at the end is when we're going to connect the this panel. We're going to connect one end to the other in order to form a skirt. So after making your chain, add 2 more chains, then go into the 3rd stitch from the hook and make a double crochet. So the first chain 3 stitch acts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to work a double crochet into each of the chains until we get to the end, and that will be our first row. So we are working rows and not rounds because we've not connected our chain. So just go on and make 1 double crochet into each chain. I'm done with row 1 and ready to begin row 2. So to begin row 2, we chain 3, and the chain 3 will act as our first double crochet. So chain 3 and turn, and we're going to work the waistband first. So into the next stitch we're going to work a front post double crochet. Into the next we work a back post. So we're going to alternate between a front post and a back post double crochet. So this is how it's going to be looking like. So keep going. I'm coming to the end of row 2 and I have 3 stitches remaining. So into that last stitch I'm going to put a front post. Into the second plast I'll put a back post. Then we have 1 stitch remaining, and no matter what you end with, or no matter what the second last stitch will be, the last stitch will always be a double crochet on top of the first double crochet. So in this case we are not putting a front post, but we're putting a double crochet on top of that first chain that we made. So at the beginning and at the end we'll be doing the double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. So to begin row 3, chain 3. The chain 3 acts as a double crochet, and then turn. So when you turn, the first stitch that we have here was a back post. So that stitch that was a back post, we're going to work it as a front post. Then the next one will be a back post. The next will be a front post, then back post. And this is just simple. We're going to work like this to the end. So at the end of row 3, remember you should end with a double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. So we're going to work this round 3, and then we also work round 4, and we'll be done with the waistband. So go on, make your round 3 and round 4, and I'll meet you once you're done with the waistband. I'm done with the waistband, and this is how it's looking. So when you're going to join our ends, this is how it's going to look like. Do not worry if the waistband looks too big. We'll attach a drawstring to the waistband to pull it together. So we're going to begin the main part of the skirt, and to begin we're going to chain 4. Then the 5th one, we're going to chain 5. So the chain 5 will act as a triple crochet plus 1 chain. So we're going to work with triple crochets. So after chaining 5, we're going to skip this first stitch, then we'll skip the next, and we'll go into the 3rd stitch with a triple crochet. So for a triple crochet, we go around the hook 2 times, then go into that 3rd stitch, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 stitches. So there we have our 2 triple crochets. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, go into the other one with a triple crochet, like that, then chain 1, skip the next, into the other one, a triple crochet, chain 1, skip, triple crochet into the next stitch after skipping, chain 1, skip, triple crochet. So this is how the round will be. So we're just chaining 1 and skipping and working a triple crochet. And we'll work like this till we get to the end. So this is our first row of the main part of the skirt. Triple crochet, chain 1, skip, triple crochet. So just keep going. I'll meet you towards the end of this row. And I have 3 stitches remaining, so I have this 1, 2, and the last one right here, which means I'm going to chain 1, skip, and go into the second last stitch with the triple crochet. But then at the end I'll have no stitch to skip. So at this point I'm not going to chain 1. I'll just go direct into the last double crochet with a triple crochet. So at that end I have 2 triple crochets following each other, If you have a stitch remaining that you can skip and work into the next stitch, then just do that. So the reason why I could not have skipped is because I do not have another stitch to work on after skipping. So to begin row 2, we chain 4, and because I had not skipped at the end, I'm not going to skip at the beginning of row 2. So chain 4 and turn. If you've skipped at the end, make sure to skip at the beginning. So instead of chaining 4 like me, you'll chain 5 and then skip. But if you've ended with 2 triple crochets following each other, you do not need to chain 5. Instead, you're going to chain 4. So after that, we're going to yarn over twice and go into that second stitch with another triple crochet. So we're just working triple crochets on top of the previous triple crochets that we've just worked. So now we can start chaining 1, then work on top of the previous triple crochet. Chain 1, go into the next triple crochet. So we'll not be working on the chain stitches. We're just working over the triple crochets. And the triple crochets are separated by a chain stitch. So keep that in mind. And this is the pattern that we're going to repeat until we have our desired length of the skirt. So work round 2 to the end. I'll meet you at the end of round 2, and then I'll show you how to begin round 3. And then you'll be ready to go on and work the remaining part of the skirt. I'm at the end of row 2, and the end of row 2 is different from the beginning of row 2 because at this end we had skipped. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, then we're going to triple crochet on top of the 4th chain. So we're going to skip this one in the middle, then go into the 4th chain of that stitch and make a triple crochet. And that is the end of row 2. So we're going to begin row 3. So for row 3, we're going to chain 5. So the chain 5 is a triple crochet followed by a chain, and then we're going to triple crochet into the next triple crochet. Then chain 1 and continue working the triple crochets to the end of that row. At this point, I'm done with the skirt and I've achieved my desired length. So I wanted to get a length of 42 inches. And to get to 42 inches, I worked a total of 45 rows of the triple crochet stitches. So I'll just show you very quickly. So this is a skirt. I'll just fold it into 2 and then I'll measure it. Let me get my measuring tape. So as you can see, when the skirt is folded into 2, even without giving it a stretch, I'm getting 21 inches. And so that means that I've hit my target length. So now that I have the length that I desired, I need to do the edging of the skirt, this bottom part, all the way to this particular point. So to do that, get your hook, get it back in position, chain 1 and turn. We're going to start working a single crochet, and we're going to work the single crochet into the chain 1 stitch. So we are skipping that very first stitch and working a single crochet into that chain 1 stitch. then we're going to chain 3 and then go back into that chain 1 stitch and work 3 double crochets. Then into the next chain 1 stitch, work a single crochet, skip to the next chain 1 stitch, work a single crochet. We are in the third chain 1 stitch, so in that chain 1 stitch, after the single crochet, we're going to chain 3 and go back into that chain 1 stitch with 3 double crochets. Then skip to the next chain 1 stitch and do a single crochet, then a single crochet into the next chain 1 stitch, chain 3 double crochets into that stitch, that same stitch. So 1, 2 and 3 into the next chain 1 stitch, single crochet, into the next chain 1 stitch, single crochet. So you single crochet twice, then chain 3 and work 3 double crochets into the second single crochet. So this is how the edging should be looking like, and you're going to work like this until you get to the end at this point. So next I'm going to work a single crochet, 1 single crochet, then the next single crochet, then chain 3 double crochets into the same stitch, single crochet into the first single crochet, then the second single crochet, then chain 3 and 3 double crochets. Then we're going to single crochet twice. I'm coming to the end of that edging row, and at this point I've already done 3 double crochets, so I'm going to do a single crochet, then I'll do a single crochet in the last chain stitch, and I'll chain 3 and do the 3 double crochets. Then to finish this row, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and 4. Into that 4th chain, I'll put the last single crochet like that. Then I'm going to chain 1 and I'm done, so I'll cut off the yarn, pull through and fasten. So that part is done. What's remaining is to join the piece together to form a skirt, and this is how it's looking like. I'm going to be joining on this top part or the waist part from the waist, and I'm going to join for 9 inches. So I'm going to be measuring the 9 inches from the waistband. So from this point, measure 9. If you want your slit shorter, you can measure more than 9. If you want it a bit longer, you can join a very small part of the skirt. So I'm going to join the skirt up to the 9 inches mark. So at this point, so what I'll do, I'll make sure that the rows on each side are well aligned. Get my 9 inches. So at this point, that's where I'm going to join to put my hook through. So at this intersection of the triple crochets right there. So I'll just get the yarn make a slip knot, and then I'm going to pull the yarn through that point. Then I'm going to chain one, go back into that same stitch with a single crochet. In the triple crochet rows, we're going to be putting 3 single crochets. So inside this gap right here, we're going to put 3 single crochets. And because we've already put the first one at the beginning, in this gap we're only going to put 2. Then into the next one, make sure that you're joining one end to the other end. Into the next one, we put 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and make sure that your rows are well aligned. Into the next, we put 3 single crochets. Then 3 single crochets next. And we're just going to keep putting the 3 single crochets onto the triple crochet rows. Make sure that you're joining one side to the other side with the single crochets. So I'm in the last row of the triple crochets, so I'll put the 3, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So I've come to the rows that are in the waistband. So at this point, I'll just ensure that the corresponding ends are well aligned, and I'll just put a single crochet into each of the rows, or just choose whatever you think is appropriate to put the single crochet. Just put it there till you get to the end. So you just put in the single crochets proportionately. Make sure that you're not putting too many single crochets or too few single crochets, and make sure that your work is well aligned. So in the last stitch, I'm going to put a single crochet, chain 1, and cut off the yarn, and I'm done. So the skirt is done and joined together, and as you can see, this is the part that is joined. So I'm just going to turn the skirt to the right side, and I'll show you the slit. So you can see the waistband, then the part that is joined, and all these other parts is a slit all the way down to the bottom of the skirt. So what's remaining is to attach a drawstring to your skirt. So what you're just going to do is to make the drawstring, I'm just going to get 2 ends of the yarn, make a slip knot. I'm working with 2 strands, so I'm going to make the slip knot, and then make a chain of 250 chains. So do 250 chains, and then we're going to attach the chain or the strap to the waist, because remember we were working with the hip measurement, and therefore the waist is going to be too big, and that's why we are attaching a drawstring. So I'm just going to chain a chain of 250. So do that, and I'll show you how to place the drawstring on the waistband. I'm done making the chain, so I'm going to use a yarn needle to attach the chain or the strap to the skirt. So I want the part where I'm going to tie the strap to be aligned with the slit. So at this point is where my knot will be, so I'll start attaching from there, just going inside through the stitches on the waistband. So you want to go all around, putting the strap through these stitches. So I'm just attaching the strap to the skirt, and I'll do this till I get to the starting point. So there, my strap is attached. So like I've said, this is meant to draw the waist together to make sure that you get a perfect fit on your waist. So like that, and then you're going to tie the knot at that point. And we are done with the skirt. So all that's remaining is to weave in the ends. I'm sure by now you already know how to weave in the ends, so go on weaving your ends. If you've liked the tutorial, do not forget to leave a comment, like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. I really appreciate the support because I'm really trying to grow the channel, and any one subscription matters a lot. So thank you so much for those who have subscribed. Kindly invite your friends to do so, and I'll really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Bye.